All right, I think that's recording. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying I've been so excited to record this video because I kid you not, at the end of my second implementation call with Steph, I was begging her. Like, she did not ask me. I was begging her. I said, Steph, can I write something? Can I record something? Can I do like a audio, something for you? Because that's how good my experience was. I felt the obligation to repay her in some way above and beyond, what I originally paid for the program. It was that good, okay, guys? So I'm just gonna preface this video by saying that my biggest struggle before starting to work with SJ was that I was really scatterbrained, which was weird for me because I'm an organized person. I keep a calendar, I keep a planner, I'm a list maker, completely type A like that, but I had so much trouble figuring out where to spend my time or where I could spend my time and get the most bang for my time spent buck. Okay, so instead of prioritizing, instead of getting focused, I was trying to do everything. I was trying to be on every social platform. I was trying to kind of randomly be in email, be on video, be on live streams. Like, it was this horrible blend of me spreading myself too thin, and it just left me really overwhelmed and not doing a good job at anything really. So leading up to working with Steph, I'd had a couple decent launches. Like, I had a couple, $4,000 launches, but they weren't consistent, they weren't predictable, and, between them, I'd only make, a couple $100s here and there, and that was nowhere near enough money to support me. Like, that, it was not enough for rent, it was not enough for bills, it was not enough for, random car expenses coming up. Like, it wasn't enough for life, okay? Nonetheless, like, not even to mention the lifestyle that I wanted. So this caused a building stress in my life. Not only was I struggling financially, but I felt like I was putting in so much work and so many hours, and I just, it wasn't clicking for me. I felt stupid, and I felt like I was just missing the mark somewhere. So honestly, before working with Steph, I was at the end of my line. I was ready to start looking for jobs. I was ready. I was thinking, going through the list, okay, who could I contact? Who could I get a reference to? Who could I call up? What can I do? I was grasping at straws, okay? So when I was getting ready to work with Steph, I'd seen a couple business coaches before. I'd listened to business podcasts, and I guess what I was worried about was that it was kind of hard for me to wrap my head around how I'd get value from this. I'm like, well, she can't do the work for me, so how exactly is she gonna help me? But at this point in my journey, I was so stressed out that I was really desperate for something, and I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna get a job anyways after, what is this investment now? Like, worst case scenario, you learn and you don't spend your money on something like this again. Okay? So I was desperate, guys. I was at my last straw. So I wasn't really nervous, I was just desperate. And I guess if I had to say my biggest transformation through the VIP program, it is that I am no longer scatterbrained. I am hyper organized, hyper focused, and even though I still get stressed, you still have to work, guys. Even though I still get stressed, even though I still work super hard, I feel like every day, every hour that I spend working, it's moving me closer towards my goals. It's moving me closer towards that next level that I want to achieve, right? Whereas before, it was like I'd be working really hard, and I didn't really know if it was moving me closer or further from my goals. I had no idea what was going on. Okay, so I feel confident, I feel organized, I feel like my efforts are actually translating into a quality of life. So these are all really important things, right? I mean, not to mention my revenue has gone way up, whole other level, guys. So I guess if I had to talk a bit about how working with Steph was, what it originally drew me to her was I watched her webinar, I read her emails, I'm like, this girl seems organized. I like that, I need to get organized. I am an organized person, I'm kind of type A, I like lists, and I saw all of these qualities that I see in myself in Steph. So I felt like I could really relate to Steph in that way, and I also liked that she was from the fitness space because I was working in the fitness space. So that's what drew me to her, and when I got on my first implementation call with her, I was like, yes, this is my freaking girl. She had calendars, she had Excel sheets, she had all of these different ways of organizing, and it was making my heart sing. I felt immediately taken care of. I felt immediately like she was listening to me, paying attention to these details, and making that roadmap, that step-by-step approach that I wanted so badly. Everything she said on that call, I felt like I could put in a Pinterest picture and put it on my wall. That's how quality these sessions were. Okay, so if you are nervous about working with Steph, if you are nervous about making the investment, okay, I don't know if you can relate to my story. I don't know where you're at. Like, I don't know if you're grasping at straws. I don't know if you are doing pretty well, but you want to take it to the next level. Like, you can't get much worse than grasping at straws, okay? I remember my car broke down and I had like a few $1,000s come up. Like, I was really losing my mind, okay? And even if you're there, the worst case scenario, the way I see it, is that you're going to learn something, okay? Either you learn not to spend your money on something like this again, or you learn how to take yourself and your business to the next level, okay? I I can't say enough good things about working with Steph. Like, the fact that I'm recording this video and recording this right now, I'm like, I want to record 5 more. That's how good this is. That's how transformative it has been for me. I don't like talking about numbers, but I know for some of you who've been listening to business podcasts and I don't like to brag about this, because I know that when people start talking numbers, you start comparing yourself and you're like, oh my God, why aren't I there? Or why am I so far beyond them? But if you're somebody, okay, I don't really like talking about numbers, not because I'm ashamed of it or anything, but just because I don't want people to compare their progress to mine or whatever. But I remember I listened to a lot of podcasts before joining Steph, okay? And I heard about these people doing like 5 figures in a week. I heard about people doing 6-figure launches, and I'm like, wow, that would be so cool, right? That's crazy. Like, how do they do this? And it felt like this magic trick, okay? Like, I felt like, yes, that's really cool. Yes, I know I'm a smart girl, but I just felt like there was this disconnect between me and between these people that I heard and that I saw testimonials of, okay? And I'll tell you guys, this most recent launch, the launch that was after my second implementation session with Steph, the one that I wrapped up just a week or so ago, I did 5 figures in my first 24 hours. I had a multi-5-figure launch in 1 week. Like, my boyfriend and I can't tell you, like, we had our calculators out. We were like, okay, if we do this like every month, or if we do this just 6 months, if we do it like this, if we both got in a car accident and couldn't work, like, this is real money. This is real quality of life. Like, this is the sort of freedom that lets you not stress anymore, that lets you really show up with your family, with your partners, even for your job. It allows you to be creative, and it allows you to just calm the frick down, okay? Especially if you're like me, it lets you calm down and actually feel happy and celebrate your hard work. And I know, like I said, I don't, everybody's numbers are going to be different. Everybody's coming from a slightly different starting point, but I finally feel like I get it. I finally feel like I get what those people on the podcasts and in the testimonials were talking about. Like, I finally feel like I have the key to achieving those things. And I could not be more grateful for Steph for helping me discover this and for helping guide me towards this. My words, they're escaping me. But if you are on the fence, know that, you can relate to me, you can relate to those other people. You just have to get organized, and Steph is the girl to take you there.